Please be ready for dictation of exercise number 13 from April 2023 issue of the Progressive magazine. 10 seconds to go. Start. Sir, I now come to the more important part of this bill, which is the heart of the bill, the core of the bill. This is about the rate of tax. I will presently read portions from the Chief Economic Advisor's report. The heart of this bill is what the text will be. It is not a matter between the Union Finance Minister and the State Finance Ministers. There is a third line to the triangle, that is the people of this country. Every Union Finance Minister wants to maximize revenues. Every State Finance Minister is under pressure to maximize revenues. There is nothing wrong with that. But please remember, we are dealing with an indirect tax. An indirect tax, by definition, is a regressive tax. Any indirect tax falls equally on the rich and poor. If you buy a soft drink bottle, whether a rich buys it or a poor man buys it, he pays the same excise duty on the soft drink bottle. That is why world over, indirect taxes being regressive in nature, the trend is to keep them as low as possible. I am sure many members have read the Chief Economic Advisor's report. If not, I would urge you to please read it. The cover tells the story. In high-income countries, the average GST rate is 16.8%. In emerging market economies like India, the average is 14.1%. So, world over 190 countries have one form or the other of GST. It is between 14.1% and 16.8%. The idea is, being an indirect tax, it should be kept as low as possible. The taxes that fall more on the rich and less on the poor are income tax and corporate tax. Those are the taxes consistent with other goals which the country may have. Those are the taxes which must be of principal source of revenue. In fact, for many years in this country, there is a complete tax distortion. The collection from indirect taxes is larger than the collection from direct taxes. I think we crossed the line sometime in the year 2006 or 2007. Maybe in 2008, we crossed the line when the collection from direct taxes overtook the collection from indirect taxes, and that remains so even today in our country. In fact, the collection from direct taxes should far outweigh the collection from indirect taxes. So what do? We need to keep the taxes low. At the same time, we must protect the existing revenues of the union government and the state government. So, how do we go about it? We go about it by discovering what is called a revenue neutral rate, that is not the actual rate of tax. That is simply a step in deciding the slab rates. It is not so technical. In fact, it can be explained in fairly simple terms. You derive an RNR, and then from that RNR you work out the slab rates. Today, please remember, over 80% of excise duties are between 12 and 14%. Over 56% of VAT is in this range of about 13 to 14%. So, on an average, 70% of the goods have a tax incidence of about 13 to 14%. But there are huge tax losses because of an inefficient collection machinery, and a large number of goods escape taxes. They are neither captured by the union nor captured by the states, etc., etc. The GST is supposed to be a more efficient tax. If the union captures it, it cannot escape state tax. If the state captures it, it cannot escape union tax. Therefore, it is more efficient. And because it is non-cascading, more people will comply with it. Because it is a self-audit method, a chain of transactions, it is very difficult to escape the tax. All these are argued everywhere, and I do not wish to repeat those arguments. Now, the chief economic advisor of the government, working with experts, including state government representatives, arrived at an RNR of 15 to 15.5 and then suggested that the standard rate should be 18. The Congress party did not pluck 18 from the air. This 18 came out of your report. The standard rate must be 18. You can have then a lower rate, less than 18, and you can have a demerit rate of more than 18. But the standard rate, the rate that will apply to most groups and most services, must be 18, and the chief economic advisor has argued very cogently that it alone will make it non-inflationary, acceptable to the public, and an efficient way of taxing without tax evasion. Now, when we say cap the tax rate, what are we saying? We are saying that this rate should not be changed by the whim of the executive. Today, excise duties are changed by the whim of the executive. 3 days ago, they reduced the price of petrol and diesel. 3 days later, they increased. Stop.